Hey guys, it's AXN here, back with another video on the channel. Today I'm going to do my very first video on Titanfall 2, a game that I've been pretty excited about for a long time. I was a pretty big fan of the original Titanfall, and this game is a very well made sequel. In this game, there are 6 main Titans that you are able to choose from: the Ion Titan, Scorch Titan, North Star Titan, Ronin Titan, Tone Titan, and Legion Titan. All of these Titans have unique kits, and they're all very fun to play. But like in any game, they aren't all made equal, and some are more powerful than others. The point of this series is not to say which Titan is the best or the worst, but to show off the strengths and weaknesses of all the Titans. If you'd like me to make an actual tier list of the Titans, leave a comment down below telling me so, and I'll get right on it. Let's start off with most likely the first Titan that really any of you guys have played, the Ion Titan. This was one of the first 2 Titans available in the tech test, and it was unlocked for everyone at the launch of Titanfall 2. The Ion Titan is a fairly simplistic Titan overall, with abilities that are simple and fairly self-explanatory. However, the one thing that you will notice about the Ion Titan at the beginning is every ability you use takes up charge. You build up charge over time, and you can utilize it for most of your abilities. As you can see here, on the left side of the Titan interface, there is a little bar that shows you how full your energy is. Make sure to keep track of this bar, because if you are unexpectedly out of energy in the middle of a big fight, it could be very bad. The primary weapon of the Ion Titan is called the Splitter Rifle, which has 2 firing modes. The first firing mode shoots a single shot, and it does have some travel time to it. This does not use up any of your Titan's energy, so make sure to use this as much as you'd like. The second firing mode is activated when you look down at sights. The Splitter Rifle then will shoot 3 shots instead of 1, with each shot doing as much damage as the single firing mode. This gives you the possibility of doing 3 times as much damage if you can hit all of your shots. But of course, this one does come at a cost. While using this firing mode, you will constantly drain energy out of your Titan, so keep that in mind while fighting. You should not use this as your main damage source, especially from afar, but it is a very good thing to do when you're doing some long-range damage to enemy Titans, and it's also pretty effective for taking out waves of grunts and also other enemy pilots. Your first main ability that you have to your disposal is called the Laser Shot, and what this is pretty much a powerful shoulder-mounted laser that can be shot at an enemy. This will deal massive damage to Titans, and it will one-shot pilots if you're able to land the shot. The main drawback of this ability is it will take quite a bit of your energy, so you will have to use it sparingly. When you have full energy, you'll be able to shoot it twice in quick succession, but you'll pretty much be out of energy at that point. You can use this to get some long-range poke on Titans too. However, my favorite thing to do with this is pretty much just snipe pilots straight after they eject from their Titan. It's not the easiest thing to do, but once you do it a few times, you'll get the hang of it. This is probably the most fun thing to do with this Titan, and it just feels so smooth when you can actually shoot a laser into the sky just to get a free kill. This is a very useful thing in a game mode such as Last Titan Standing, because in this game mode, enemy pilots can be catastrophic for your team if they are left unchecked. The next main ability that the Ion Titan has is called the Vortex Shield, and those of you who've played the original Titanfall should know what this is. This ability, as the name would imply, is a shield. You cannot attack while this is activated, however it does provide some great utility, as any bullets that get caught by the shield can be fired straight back at the attacker. The Vortex Shield will drain energy as long as you have it up. However, at max energy you can have this thing up for quite a while. This ability is great for dealing damage to things such as Legion Titans, as a lot of the time they won't let go of their trigger immediately, and you can easily get 30 to 40 bullets in your shield. This will give you a lot of free damage on those poor unsuspecting Titans by doing this. However, speaking of the Legion example, they'll have an ability that gives them a shield around their gun. You don't have to wait till the shield goes down. Instead, just aim your shield slightly downwards towards their feet, and the bullet should land as long as you aim it correctly. The Vortex Shield, while being unable to reflect energy weapons, such as the Charge Rifle and other Ion Titan attacks, will still block them, so you can minimize the amount of damage you take in these kinds of fights. On a side note, if there are 2 Ion Titans in a game, one on each team, they can reflect the reflected bullets and play a pretty dangerous game of catch. The final main ability that the Ion Titan has are called laser tripwires, which cost roughly the same amount of energy as the laser shot. This ability sets down some laser traps that, when walked over, deal substantial damage to the victim. If it's a pilot, it'll one-shot them, and if it's a Titan, it'll do massive damage. You can use this ability for zoning, like making someone's Titan a dangerous place to get to, or it could be used for defensive purposes, such as making people just not want to walk through an area because then they would take a good amount of damage. You generally won't use the tripwire as much as the vortex shield or the laser shot, but it can come in handy in certain scenarios. Make sure that this ability is used wisely, as you can waste a lot of potential damage by trying to use it. Another downside to the tripwire is it can be destroyed if an enemy shoots it. It is quite visible, and a lot of times the enemy will see it before they walk into it, but you can sometimes use this to get some good damage off on the enemies. The core ability of this Titan, known as the Laser Core, is one of the coolest things inside of Titanfall 2. You basically shoot a massive laser beam out of your chest, obliterating any pilots that happen to be in its path, while also doing substantial damage to enemy Titans. If you hit most of the core, you can doom a Titan from full health with this ability, because it does have a lot of raw power to it. Luckily, this ability doesn't cost anything, so you don't have to worry about your energy reserves. However, this ability does have several main problems with it, the first of which is after activating this laser core, you have a very slow movement speed and you don't have access to any of your dashes. The second main problem is that you can't stop this ability until it's over. While you don't always want to cancel the whole ability, if you use it and someone comes up behind you, you can't do really anything to it. You can't dash, you can't use your vortex shield, you're pretty much a sitting duck waiting for your ability to be over. However, even with these downsides, when used correctly, the laser core is one of the scarier cores inside of the game. For the few customizations that you actually want to do on your Titan, there are a lot of good choices, and generally what you choose is up to your playstyle. The first thing you get to choose is your Titan kit, and for that, I would pretty much recommend either Turbo Engine or Overcore. These are the two abilities that I would recommend on pretty much any Titan, as the other ones don't provide as much actual utility as these do. For example, nuclear ejection can do a good amount of damage to enemies, but you don't really want to rely on ability that requires destroying your own Titan. The same thing applies for stealth auto-eject. The next thing you get to choose is your Ion kit, and there are two that I would definitely suggest using, and these are Entangled Energy and Grand Cannon. Entangled Energy makes critical hits from your splitter rifle charge energy, and Grand Cannon increases the duration of your laser core. Since you have to pick one, I would definitely recommend Entangled Energy, as you want to use this to get your energy back for your Titan. Having any sort of energy regeneration perks is very good, and saying this is the only one you can get, you kind of want to go for it. Both of these abilities are great options though, and once again, it's kind of down to personal preference what you'd like for this kind of thing. Finally, the last thing you get to choose is your Titanfall kit, and I would recommend using Dome Shield. While Warpfall does make you call in your Titan faster, it's way too risky not to have a shield protecting your Titan for when you're trying to get into it. There may be a hidden threat that you don't see, or it could just take a lot of unnecessary damage that really you don't have to take. Overall, the Ion Titan is an extremely fun and fairly simple kit that does not take too long to actually get used to. This Titan, in my opinion, is one of the funner kits in the game, solely because of all the snipes that I've gotten with my laser shot. That just about does it for today's video, however. So, if you did like the video, make sure to leave a like. If you have any suggestions, questions, comments, or anything like that, put them down below in the comment section. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to subscribe. Your support really helps me make more videos like this, and, it's very appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.